This is how I go about making an inside the waistband Kydex holster with which you can tuck in your shirt. To prepare the gun for the forming process of the Kydex, I tape a doweling along the top of the gun so that way there's a clear path for the front sight when it's withdrawn from the holster. And then I take a wad of tape and put it in the ejection port so that way there's not too big of a groove or too much of a form, making it difficult to withdraw the gun from the holster once the holster is made. Tape is used to fill the trigger guard for the same reason, to make sure that it can be withdrawn from the Kydex easily. And then a small piece of wood is placed to form a recess for the screws that will be used to attach the belt clip. The oven is heated to 375 degrees and the Kydex is placed inside the oven face down for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, the pliability of the Kydex is checked and then removed. The Kydex is placed face down into my forming press, then using my bench top vise as well as a number of clamps, it's clamped down and pressed firmly for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the Kydex and the gun is removed, and at this time the gun is removed from the Kydex. Using a pencil, I trace out the shape that I want the holster to have. General purpose rotozip drill bits are placed into my drill and used to cut along the line, leaving the line and making sure to leave a little bit of extra space so that way I can sand it to the proper shape and size later. The rotozip drill bit is replaced with a drum sander, and the holster is sanded down to the line, smoothed out, and made the shape that I want. Final sanding is accomplished with 220 sandpaper and 4-aught steel wool. A strip of Kydex is now cut and will be used to make the belt clip. A heat gun is used to make the first bend of the belt clip. The Kydex is simply heated until it's pliable, and then you use a pair of hand seamers to make the bend. This bend will make the small lip that catches on the belt when I place the holster over the belt. Now the loop that will hold the belt is made. I measure halfway down the remaining length of the belt clip. This distance determines how far I can tuck in my shirt. Dots are drawn onto the belt clip for holes that I will drill to use the post screws to attach it to the holster. Holes are now drilled for the post screws. The holes are then transferred to the holster and drilled. A final sanding is done to smooth the corners of the belt clip. The location is marked for the tension screw on the holster. It is then drilled out. Notice that I lift the Kydex up to the drill bit so that way the layers of Kydex stay together as the hole is drilled. Blue Loctite is added to 1/8 inch post screws to attach the belt clip. The tension screw is added to the holster with a small rubber washer added in between the layers of Kydex. The tightness of this screw determines how tightly the holster holds on to the gun. I now check the retention of the gun in the holster. In this case, I needed to tighten the screw a little bit more to add a little bit more retention on the gun. The gun fits into the holster very smoothly with a nice click and doesn't fall out if it's turned upside down and shaken. This is how the holster will be used. I know it doesn't give much of a purchase to grab when drawing the gun, but that's the way it was designed. I want the gun to be completely concealed with no print. Thanks for watching.